Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to today's workshop, Make Your Website Work for You, designed to help you improve your website. My name is Matt Williams, and I'm the Business Services Specialist at the Addison Public Library. Thank you again for joining us this evening. This presentation is brought to you by Grow with Google, and Grow with Google helps people across the United States grow their skills, careers, and businesses by offering free tools, trainings, and events. Today, you're going to learn how to create a website that drives your user action and support your business goals. Whether you're launching a new website or sprucing up an old one, this workshop will help you get the most out of your website. So, website is an important component of every brand's online marketing strategy. It's one of the many touch points that influences shoppers making purchasing decisions. But in order to help sell your product and services, the website has to deliver a great user experience immediately. According to statistics compiled by Forbes Advisor, website visitors form an opinion about a website in 0.05 seconds. People are clearly impatient. 47% of users won't wait longer than 2 seconds for a website to load. Never has the expression, "you never get a second chance to make a first impression," seem more apropos. Forbes advisors shared another statistic stating that a whopping 88% of online users won't return to a website after a bad experience. This workshop will show you ways to create or update your website and offer a positive user experience. Ones that are easy to navigate, convenient, and are trustworthy. So we're talking about websites today. So let's start by reviewing the basics of web design. When people hear web design, they often think about graphic design. That's how the website looks and feels. But the look and feel is just one component of web design. Within the graphic template, there are lots of common elements that appear on most websites, including the header or the top section of the website. The header usually includes the company logo in the left corner. Most website visitors expect that the logo will also link back to the home page. And then you have the footer, which is the bottom section of the website. The footer usually includes important links, contact information, and copyright information. And lastly is the navigation, which is usually horizontally across the top of the page or vertically on the left side of the site. Effective websites follow guidelines to keep web pages consistent, such as colors, font sizes, font styles, types of content, etc. Some sites are designed and built from scratch. Now, many sites use a content management system or CMS. Most CMS options include a web-based tool that allow you to easily build, customize, and update your website. Now, there are many options out there, and they are all a little bit different. So some options include Shopify, Wix, and Google Sites, just to name a few. Now, if you're just getting started, we recommend that you try a few and find a CMS that you are most comfortable using. Whether you're building a website from scratch or using a content management system, all the principles from today's workshop will apply. So in today's presentation, we'll look at 5 characteristics of a great website. A website is not all about eye-catching design. A great site is goal-oriented, which is how will your site grow your business? It's also search-friendly. Can search engines find your website? A good website also offers an easy and convenient experience for customers. Is it easy to use your website on all devices, a smartphone and a desktop, or even a tablet? A good website also has pages and content that are organized and intuitive to navigate. In other words, is your website easy to navigate? And a good website also works to gain a customer's trust. Does your website protect your customers? So let's start by talking about why your website should be goal-oriented. It's not enough just to have a site because everyone else has one or because you've been told you need one. A great website has specific goals, both short and long term. If you factor in these goals as you create and refine your site, it can help your business now and in the future. So start by asking yourself, why do I want a website? What are you trying to do? What are your goals? Your site can have your site can have all kinds of goals. Your goal can be to make an online sale. Maybe that's an obvious goal, but there are many other ways that websites can help your business. A site could also build your brand by establishing a look and feel that resonates with your customers. Um, yes. It can also generate leads by catching a potential customer's attention and prompting them to contact you. It could re-engage existing customers, reminding them why they bought from you in the first place, offer related products, or letting them know that you've expanded your product or service line. A website might help you attract new customers as well. Or you might use your site to assist with customer support, like answering frequently asked questions. So to develop useful goals, put yourself in the shoes of your audience. Who is your website for? It's relatively easy to define an audience with demographic data like gender, age, and employment status. But don't stop there. Ask yourself, what makes my audience unique? How do they act, think, and live? Your goal is to develop a more complete picture of your audience, a customer's persona. So for example, examine specific age ranges rather than just one wide range. Consider their location. Are they in the city, the suburbs, a rural area? Consider their education level, their employment status, any hobbies that they have, or what they value in their life. Consider their view of your product or service. Is it a necessity? Is it a nice to have? Or is it a special treat? An understanding of your audience can influence everything on your site, from the graphic design to the words on the page. It might be tempting to consider a broad audience. For example, everyone likes ice cream, right? But it's more useful to narrow in on the audience you really want. Even though everyone loves ice cream, a gourmet ice cream shop may specifically want to reach trendy foodies who will be willing to spend more money for locally sourced organic ice cream. If that's the type of product you sell, you want your website to communicate to the foodie shoppers who are your most likely customers. So now that you're thinking about your target audience, think about how you can use your website to communicate your marketing message to them and support your business goals. Everything you do on your website should support your goals. Now, one useful way to create meaningful goals is to use the SMART framework. SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So is your goal specific and detailed? How will you measure it? Is your goal realistically attainable? Is your goal relevant to your business? Will this goal help you reach your business goals? And set a time frame to achieve this goal. Is it going to be 6 months, 1 year, 2 years? So let's add another consideration to the mix, tracking and measuring. If you don't track and measure your website's performance, you won't have a way to make improvements. Well, improvements that are based on data. Here's another way to think about it. Let's say you want to modify your bicycle to make it go faster. If you don't know your bike's maximum speed before you make the modifications, how will you know if the changes helped? Similarly, you need to track and measure your online success so you know what kind of improvements to make. There's lots of ways to do that, and some are more accurate than others. You can start by simply asking customers how they found you. Ask when they call you on the phone, visit your store, or correspond via email. You can also get more precise. For example, you can set up a trackable phone number. If you advertise with Google, you can use free call tracking, which records every time your ad results in a phone call. You can track the number of emails or form submissions from your website. If you have an e-commerce site, you can track your sales. And you can use web analytics software like Google Analytics to understand visitor behavior on your site. So Google Analytics is a free tool that can help you track and measure your goals. It helps you better understand your audience and their activity on your website and mobile apps. This information will help you to make more strategic decisions about your business. If you're feeling lost when it comes to goal setting, it might help you to put yourself in the shoes of your customer. What reason would they have to visit your website? What are they looking for? You don't have to guess because Google Analytics can help answer most of those questions. Google Analytics reports can help you better understand your audience and what they are doing when they get to your website. Now, here's a few of the audience insights you might get. What's the highest source of web traffic? What content on your website attracts the most visitors? What keeps them on the site longer? What are some key demographics about your site visitors? And then which channels drive most conversations, search results, paid ads, social posts, or e-newsletters? To get set up with Google Analytics, you can visit g.co/analytics. You'll start by either creating a new account or signing in with an existing analytics account. There are a variety of ways you can add Google Analytics. If you edit the HTML on your website, you can add tracking code directly. Many content management systems include ways to add Google Analytics tracking without code. You can find more information at g.co/grow/platforms. Now in Google Analytics, reports are organized as follows. A report snapshot, a real-time report of what's happening right now on your website, and report collection and topics. So let's break down the terminology. A collection is a set of reports. Lifestyle and user are predefined collections that appear in the report navigation by default. Topics refer to individual reports within the collection. For example, acquisition is a topic within the life cycle collection. You can find 4 reports under the life cycle collection: acquisition, engagement, monetization, and retention. So acquisition is the sources, mediums, and campaigns through which you acquire users. Engagement is your user engagement by events, pages, and screens. Monetization is revenue that you can earn. And retention is by new and returning users, cohorts, which are groups of users banded together, and a lifetime value. The user collection helps you understand the people who use your website or app, including their demographics, which are their age, location, etc., and the terminology they use, such as what browser version they have, what app version they have, etc. So let's switch gears and talk about making your website search friendly. Every day, there are billions of Google searches, and each time one of these searches connects a person to your website, you have the opportunity to make a sale. To help you understand how to make your website more search friendly, let's look at a Google search results page. You're probably very familiar with this page, but let's break it down into sections. At the top, you see a word, phrase, or question that the searcher typed in. That's called a search query. Below the search query, you see the search results. This example shows a text ad at the top of the results, clearly labeled. Underneath the ad is the start of the search results. Creating a search-friendly site helps increase your chances of appearing in the search results. The search results include websites that Google's algorithm had identified as relevant and useful matches to the search query. When we talk about making your site search friendly, we mean improving the chances of it appearing higher in the search results. Clicks on links in the search results are free. Now, websites can pay Google to appear here, and advertising doesn't influence a website's presence or position. Now, there's one more section to review on this page. On the right side of the page, you see more information, like a Google business profile or a knowledge panel with key information about the topic of the search. In some searches, you may see a new feature at the top of the page called AI Overview, which is an AI-generated snapshot that provides key information and links to dig deeper. So the process of helping a website increase its visibility on search engines is called search engine optimization, or SEO for short. You can hire a company or consultant to approve your website's SEO, but there's plenty of things you might be able to do yourself to improve your site's visibility in the search results. First, make your website fast. A website's load time is important, especially for mobile devices. Websites that load faster often see reduced bounce rates and improve conversion rates. In other words, customers to stay longer and purchase more. You may need help with your technician team to increase your load time. Now, next, help your site be more search friendly by publishing original content that's useful, clear, and accurate. Include keywords consumers might search for to find your site, and make sure your website actually includes these words. Search-friendly sites also include links, either to other relevant places within your site or to other websites that publish high-quality information. And third, use text to anchor your links whenever possible. Include relevant keywords as part of the link. So descriptive page titles and accurate page descriptions can also make your site more search-friendly. They should be unique to each page. Many content management systems allow you to add them. So next is organization. Now that is the way your site is organized, is known as the information architecture. Logical information architecture helps visitors find the information that they're looking for, and it helps the search engine too. Now, how does this work? Thoughtful organization helps Google more easily understand what your website is about, including what information is important. Finally, remember to design your site in a way that works for all browsers and devices. About half of your users will be viewing your site from smartphones, and if they have trouble using your website, they may choose not to return. Another free tool from Google that can help you monitor, maintain, and troubleshoot your site's presence in Google search results is called the Google Search Console. So what is the Google Search Console? It is a no-cost tool designed to help you improve your site's performance in the Google search results. It used to be called Webmaster Tools. So if you've had a site before, you have had a website for a long time, you may have known it as Webmaster Tools. But it's important to note that you do not have to sign up for Search Console to be included in Google search results. But this tool helps you understand how to improve how Google sees your site. As a small business owner, you may not dive deep into the technical details Search Console reports, but it can help you understand how and why to make improvements. Now, the Search Console tools and reports can help you in a variety of ways, including it can confirm that Google can find and access your site. It can fix indexing problems and allow you to request re-indexing of new and updated content. Now, what indexing means is it includes pages in the Google's index. Now, that's required for your search results to show up in the actual results when someone tries to search you. Now, showing Google search traffic data for your site. Now, for example, how often your site appears in a Google search, which search queries show your site, and how often searchers click through those queries. Now, Search Console tools and reports can also help by allowing you to sign up for alerts if Google encounters issues with your site. To sign up for a free Search Console account, you can go to g.co/search console. You will need to add a website property to your account and verify your ownership. Now, you can create a property that includes your entire domain or a property that's limited to a single branch of your website. So for example, like the library's website, our main page is addisonlibrary.org. But we have many other pages where it might be like addisonlibrary.org/business services. So we only would have to include the addisonlibrary.org. Now, once verification is complete, your account will be ready and it will start collecting data for the report. So now that we've talked about goals and organization, the next thing you'll need to consider is how visitors experience your site, no matter what device they have. You want to create a website that's intuitive and convenient for others. Your first goal is to make it easy for people to find or to use your website on a small screen. Now let's talk about the 6 ways to do that. So first, you use a responsive design. Now, what does this mean? So this means that your website layout responds to the device being used. It has a fluid design that adapts to the screen size. The goal is to make it just as easy to use a website on your phone as a desktop computer. Now, as you build or rebuild a website, try a mobile-first approach. Instead of testing your site on a desktop computer, start by testing it on a phone. For example, navigation is critically important. Design a site that allows plenty of space for users to tap on links from a small screen. If your site includes a call to action, make it tappable, linking visitors directly to the content that they want to access. Now, a little technical, but worth discussing with your web designer is using vector graphics. Those graphic frequent ends in .ai, .eps, or .svg. Now, vector graphics don't get distorted when you change their size. The other types of graphics are called raster graphics. Now, they are those common ending graphics. Those are your JPEGs, your GIFs, and your PNGs. Now, here is another tip. When it comes to design, less is more. A clean, minimalistic design may make it easier for visitors to complete actions on your site. Last but not least, design a site for everyone. Follow accessibility standards so people with disabilities who may use assistive technology can more readily access your web pages. Now, when you have a moment, try a brief activity. If you have your phone handy, search for your website or a site that you use a lot on your computer. How quickly did it load? How does it look? Tap to navigate around. Is that difficult to do? If this is your website, start making a list of potential improvements for mobile site visitors. Now, second tip, make it easy for people to buy stuff on your site if you have things that you want to sell via a website. Now, it sounds very simple, but how many of you have tried to visit a website, started to buy something, and bailed before the checkout was complete? A difficult and lengthy checkout process can have a major impact on the site's conversion rate. Now, here are some things that you can do to make it easier for visitors to complete purchases on your site. First, reduce the number of steps in the checkout process. Less is more here. Now, second, show a visitor their progress as they move through the checkout. This lets them know what they have left to do and when they're almost done. Offer guest checkout for visitors who don't want to create accounts to make a purchase. Tip: after the transaction is complete, you might offer them an option to create an account for the next time. And lastly, give people choices. Offer multiple payment options like digital wallets such as Google Pay. So make it easy for your customers to find and buy other things they need, even if they don't know they need it yet. If implemented well, related product recommendations will encourage customers to add more products to their shopping carts. So talk to your web developer about ways that you can add related product recommendations to your website. Recommendations might be based on a customer's online purchase history, the products they've viewed, or products that complement the items in their shopping cart. For example, if someone added a jar of jam to their cart, the website might suggest that they a specialized jam spoon. If you sell a product that requires separate components, for example, a device that does not include the required batteries, that's an opportune moment to recommend adding that additional product to the shopping cart. Your goal is to make it convenient for customers to find everything they need from your site without extra effort. So finally, try to find ways to make shopping more convenient online and offline. For example, many restaurants now offer curbside pickup and let people know about it on their websites. E-commerce sites may offer multiple delivery options or free shipping with a minimum order. And service providers might offer virtual options, allowing customers to be customers from the convenience of their own homes. Now, these are just a few general ideas to consider as you design a website that meets the needs of your customers. So now let's talk a little bit about a bonus tip. Did you know that there are ways to see how your website looks on a different device or a desktop computer? You'll need to open your site in the Chrome browser and then right-click on the web page and click Inspect. Now this takes you to Chrome's developer tools. You'll see the visible web page on the left side of the screen and the HTML code on the right side of the screen. This tool allows you to inspect elements on your web page, including how it looks on different devices. Above the HTML code is a small icon that shows a screen overlaid by a mobile screen. It allows you to toggle the device and see the website on different screen sizes. You can change the size of the visible screen by entering the screen dimensions, the smartphone type, and more. So let's talk about the information within the website. A great website has a lot of useful, relevant content that helps people find what they're looking for. Even if you don't have a lot of the web pages now, your site will probably grow over time. As it does, it's important to keep it well organized. Planning how new content fits into the framework of your website can set it up for success. So start with a plan. Information architecture, or IA, sounds technical, but you don't need to be a website designer, programmer, or architect to create one. Simply put, it's a plan to organize information on your site. The IA maps out the sections, pages, and functionality of your site. The goal is to help people find information they're looking for and to complete tasks. To do this, you need to understand how the pieces of your site fit together to create a larger picture and how items relate to each other. Now, there are several pages and sections found on most sites, including the home page, an About Us page, a Contact Us page. Depending on your business, you'll probably include a product or services section too. Now, there is no right way to organize a site, but you may find it useful to review the business goals you wrote down earlier in the workshop. Now, keep those in top of mind as you create your plan. So let's cover a few last tips for organizing your site. Before you map out your main navigation and gather content, consider which pages you will need to be included on your website and make a list of those. Give each page on this list the clear call to action. For example, the web page shown on the slide invites visitors to shop the new releases. A good call to action describes the action you'd like visitors to take, such as sign up for a new membership, subscribe to an email newsletter, add a product to the shopping cart. Here's another way to think about it. There shouldn't be any dead ends. Visitors shouldn't get to the bottom of the web page and have to make a conscious decision about where to go and what to do next. Visual elements can help sighted visitors notice important information and cue them to take further action. It's important to be consistent. If visuals and text are inconsistent, it can be difficult for visitors to get the hang of using your website. And finally, optimize your website's navigation. Visitors shouldn't have to think about finding a page. Navigation should be intuitive. Many websites include a site search feature to help that too. Now, as your site is growing and you have your own base content, you'll need to start thinking about additional content and how do you get more content ideas. So here's where Google Trends comes in. So you can look at Google Trends by visiting g.co/trends. Now, this is a free tool provided by Google that you can use to understand the relative popularity of keywords over time. You can access a large unfiltered sample of actual Google searches. The data is anonymous, so there's no personal information. It is categorized, so each search is assigned a topic, and it is aggregated, so it is grouped together. Now, this allows trends to display interest in a particular topic from around the globe or down to a city level geography. You can use it to research keyword popularity and incorporate important keywords into the website content. Okay, so how can you use Google Trends to research content for your website? So here's a few ideas. First, you can compare words and phrases to use or to see which are searched more often. One example company, Trade Street Jam, might be curious to see how a search for jam compares to a search for jelly. It's pretty interesting to see the results. Shown here are from a search conducted in June of 2024. If you set trends to show data for web searches in the United States, 2004 to the present, in all categories, it shows that people are searching the word jam. So that's great. But if you scroll down to a related topic and related queries, the top results appear to be related to movies and games, not food. If you set your category to food and drink, that changes things. The graph looks different. For starters, you see a regular seasonal spike every July and December. If you dig into that, you might be able to get some ideas about adding popular, relevant content, maybe a new recipe section focused on summer fruit jam or spiced cranberry holiday jam. Okay, so let's add one more layer to the mix. With trends, you can compare search terms too. Now, if you add the word jelly, you will see its relative search popularity compared to the word jam. You can see that the word jelly is more popular in certain states. That could really be helpful in your advertising. Now, this information may or may not give you ideas for new content, but it definitely suggests that using the word jelly on your website may help Google connect your website with more searchers who want to find the products you sell. So another bonus tip for you. Have you ever clicked on a link and ended up at a broken web page? Sometimes it may say error 404 or page not found. Now that's the default page when a link takes a person to a URL of a page that doesn't exist on the website. Ideally, you don't have any broken links, but what if someone manually entered the URL incorrectly? You can you can use this error page, this 404 page to your advantage. Having a custom 404 page is that kindly guides users back to the working pages on your website can greatly improve a user experience. Consider adding the links back to the homepage or the links to popular content on the website. If you build your website, check with your website builder's help or support section for instructions on customizing your 404 page. So before engaging with the website, people want to know if it's safe to use, especially if they'll be sharing confidential information like their credit card numbers. Now, that's why it's important to take steps to reassure customers that you take their privacy seriously and you have a trustworthy site. The next time you are online paying a bill or placing an order, take a look at the web address at the top of the page. You'll likely notice a padlock symbol at the beginning of the URL. You might also notice that the address begins with HTTPS instead of HTTP. Both those things indicate that you're using a secure website. So how do you provide that security for your site visitors? First, you'll need an SSL certificate. SSL stands for Secure Socket Layer Technology, which encrypts the data so it can't be stolen by hackers. Many customers who are used to shopping online will know to look for the signs that the site has an SSL certificate before buying anything. You can't get an SSL certificate through Google. You'll need to get it through the web hosting provider or a certificate authority. So let's back it up just a little bit. When you're on a web page, the browser you're using is consistently communicating with a web server. That's how you know that you're online. But as the information is beginning or is being transmitted back and forth between the server and the browser, it has the potential to be intercepted by hackers. An SSL certificate signals to the browser that it should make the connection to the server secure and private, so there's no opportunity for someone else to access the information that's being shared. Savvy consumers know to look for the padlock or the HTTPS before making purchases or sharing sensitive information. And it's in your best interest to offer them this security on your site. Your web host may also be able to issue an SSL certificate and renew it periodically. If that's not the case, you'll need to work with a certificate authority to obtain one. There are many providers, including the nonprofit Let's Encrypt, which is a free automated and open certificate authority provided by the Internet Security Research Group. So next up is securing payments. So Google Pay is an option for you if your website includes an e-commerce component. To do that, you'll need to create a merchant account with a with a payment gateway. Now, a payment gateway, which is also known as a payment processor, does exactly as it says. It serves as the liaison between the business and your customer by safeguarding the financial information. Google Pay is an option like PayPal or Amazon Pay that allows customers to use a secure payment method that they're familiar with and trust when checking out on your website. So rather than entering their payment information directly on your site, they can log into Google Pay with their Google account and password and select from any of the payment methods that they have saved there. Their payment information is stored securely, and only the information needed for each transaction is shared, which reduces the risk and exposure to fraud. It's also faster than typing in the detailed payment information every time they want to buy something. So Google Pay is free for both you and the customer, and you have to have it up and running on your site and up. Oh, and you can have it up and running on your site in under a week. So let's add 3 final tips for building a trustworthy site. Another way to build brand trust with consumers is to have good, authentic customer reviews. Customers are savvy and won't just take your word for it that your products and services are 5-star. They want to hear from real people who have done business with you, use your product or service, and want to share their experience. Encourage satisfied customers to spread the word online, including on your Google business profile, if your business is eligible to have one. Embedded reviews on your website is a great way to put that feedback front and center for potential customers. Some review sites even offer widgets to help you do that more easily. Encourage feedback from customers by making your contact information easy to find through your site, including your location, phone number, and email address. All right, so we've covered a ton of information today. So let's quickly recap. In our presentation, we've reviewed some characteristics of a great website. We've learned that a great site is goal-oriented and helps your business grow, is search-friendly, so people can find your business and services when they are looking for them online. It also offers an easy and convenient experience for customers on all types of devices. And a great website also has pages and content that are organized and intuitive to navigate. And lastly, it earns a customer's trust with a secure certificate, payment options, contact information, and endorsements from other customers who have left ratings and reviews. So thank you so much for attending the workshop today.